Jinwoo Park checked his watch again, 7:58 p.m. His blind date would arrive any minute. He sighed, wondering why he had let his sister talk him into this. Just one more try, she had begged. This one is special. That's what she always said. The restaurant was nice, not too fancy, but clean and well-lit. Jinwoo adjusted his tie and smoothed his hair one more time in the reflection of the window. At exactly 8:00 p.m., the door opened. She was beautiful. That was his first thought as Hana walked in. His second thought was that something seemed off about her. Her movements were too smooth, too perfect, like a dancer who had practiced the same routine thousands of times. She scanned the room and spotted him immediately, as if she had known exactly where he would be sitting. "Jinwoo Park?" she asked, her voice musical but oddly measured. "Yes, that's me," he replied, standing up awkwardly. "You must be Hana." She smiled. It was perfect, teeth white and straight, lips curved at precisely the right angle. Yet it didn't quite reach her eyes. "I am pleased to meet you. You match your profile data accurately." Jinwoo blinked. "My profile data?" "Your sister's description," Hana corrected quickly. "Please, shall we sit?" They settled into their chairs, and the waiter approached. Jinwoo hadn't even looked at the menu yet. "You ordered the salmon," Hana stated, looking at him. "I haven't ordered yet," Jinwoo said, confused. "But you will," she replied with confidence. "It is your preferred protein source at establishments of this category." Jinwoo felt a chill. How could she know that? He always ordered salmon at places like this. "Have we met before?" "No," she said simply. "Your sister provided detailed information." The conversation continued strangely. Hana knew things about engineering that surprised Jinwoo, who had worked in the field for 10 years. She spoke about quantum mechanics and advanced materials science with ease. Yet when he mentioned a popular TV show, she looked blank. "I do not engage with fictional narratives," she said. When their food arrived, Jinwoo noticed another odd thing. Hana arranged her food precisely on her plate, cutting it into small pieces, moving them around, but never actually eating anything. The fork would rise to her lips, then lower again without touching them. "Aren't you hungry?" he asked. "I consumed nutrients earlier," she replied. "This is merely social participation." Jinwoo was about to ask what that meant when Hana's phone buzzed. She pulled it out and stared at the screen. Her expression changed completely, the first genuine reaction he had seen from her all evening. "I must go," she said, standing up so quickly her chair nearly fell. "There is an emergency situation that requires my attention." "Wait, is everything okay? Can I help?" Jinwoo stood too, concerned despite the strange evening. "No, this is not within your capability parameters." Hana grabbed her purse. The interaction was satisfactory. "Goodbye, Jinwoo Park." Before he could respond, she was walking away, moving through the restaurant with that same uncanny precision. People seemed to automatically move out of her way, as if pushed by an invisible force. Jinwoo sat down, stunned. What had just happened? This wasn't just an awkward date. This was something else entirely. He signaled the waiter for the check, ready to put this bizarre evening behind him. As he was paying, he noticed something under Hana's chair. He reached down and picked up a small silver disc, about the size of a coin. It was warm to the touch and seemed to have tiny lines etched across its surface. When he held it up to the light, the lines appeared to move, shifting into patterns he couldn't follow. Jinwoo put the disc in his pocket, unsure why he didn't just leave it behind. Something told him this wasn't something Hana had dropped accidentally. It felt important. Outside the restaurant, he looked up and down the street, but Hana was nowhere to be seen. He pulled out his phone to call his sister. Whatever special quality she had seen in Hana, it wasn't what Jinwoo had expected. As he dialed, the disc in his pocket grew warmer, almost hot enough to burn through the fabric. Jinwoo didn't know it yet, but this bizarre blind date was just the beginning. The small silver disc would change everything he thought he knew about his world, and about who, or what, shared it with him. Jinwoo couldn't sleep that night. The silver disc sat on his bedside table, occasionally making a soft humming sound. When he picked it up the next morning, strange symbols appeared on its surface. They moved like liquid, shifting and changing as he turned the disc in his hands. He tried everything to understand it. He took photos and ran them through translation apps. He posted images on online forums, careful not to mention where he found it. Nobody could identify the symbols. One user suggested it might be a movie prop. Another thought it was an experimental tech device. By the third day, Jinwoo had barely slept. The disc was always warm, sometimes pulsing with light when nobody was watching. He needed expert help. Dr. Minju wasn't easy to find. Once respected in the astronomy field, her research on potential signals from space had made her an outsider. Most of her colleagues thought she had gone too far with her theories about alien communication, but she was exactly who Jinwoo needed now. He found her working in a small lab at the edge of the university campus. The building looked abandoned from outside, but inside was filled with computers and strange equipment. "I don't take visitors," she said when he knocked. She was shorter than he expected, with gray-streaked hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Please," Jinwoo said, holding up the disc in a plastic bag. "I need help understanding what this is." Dr. Minju's expression changed immediately when she saw the disc. "Where did you get that?" she whispered, quickly pulling him inside and locking the door. "You'll think I'm crazy," Jinwoo said. "Try me," she replied, already clearing space on a table. "I'm the woman who lost her university position for claiming we received non-random patterns from the Kepler-62 star system." Jinwoo placed the disc on the table. My blind date dropped it. Dr. Minju didn't laugh. She put on gloves and carefully examined the disc. When she touched it, the symbols began moving faster, brighter. "It's responding to you," Jinwoo said. "It does that with me too." She connected the disc to a machine. On her computer screen, waves of data appeared, pulsing in patterns. "This is impossible," she whispered. "These signal patterns, they're identical to what I recorded from Kepler-62 3 years ago." She looked up at Jinwoo. "Tell me everything about this date." Jinwoo described Hannah's strange behavior, her knowledge of things she shouldn't know, how she never ate, and her sudden departure. Dr. Minju nodded as if confirming something she already suspected. "Your date wasn't human." "What?" Jinwoo laughed nervously. "Fats." "I know how it sounds," she interrupted. "But I've been tracking them for years. They call themselves observers. They study humans by interacting with us. They choose their subjects carefully, people who won't be missed if something goes wrong, or people with certain knowledge they want to access." "I'm an electrical engineer," Jinwoo said quietly. "Nothing special. But you work at Suntech Industries, right? On their new energy storage systems." Jinwoo stared at her. "How did you know that?" "Because they're interested in our energy technology. It's primitive compared to theirs, but they study our developmental patterns." She pointed at the disk. "This is their technology. A data storage device, possibly communication tool. She didn't drop it by accident." The room seemed to tilt around Jinwoo. "You're saying my blind date was an alien?" "Not exactly. The observers use synthetic bodies that look human. They're grown specifically for this purpose, with human DNA as a base, but they're controlled by non-human intelligence. That's why she knew things but acted strange," Jinwoo said slowly. "Why she didn't eat. They haven't perfected the digestive process." Dr. Minju nodded. "Food is complicated." Jinwoo sat down hard in a chair. "I spent 300,000 won on dinner for an alien." Despite the situation, Dr. Minju laughed. "Of all the things to focus on, you're worried about the bill." "It was an expensive restaurant," Jinwoo said weakly. "My sister said to impress her." "Your sister?" Dr. Minju's voice turned serious. "How did she know this Hana? Who arranged this date?" "An app, I think," She's always trying to set me up. Dr. Minju typed rapidly on her computer. Some observers use dating apps to find subjects. It's the perfect cover for asking personal questions and meeting privately. The disk suddenly lit up brightly, hovering slightly above the table. Both of them jumped back. It's activating, Dr. Minju whispered. They know we're examining it. What do we do? Jinwoo asked, heart pounding. We have two choices, destroy it now, or, Dr. Minju looked at him with intense eyes, or we use it to make contact. Real contact, not their controlled observation. The disk rotated in the air, symbols flowing faster now, almost like it was waiting for their decision. They're already here, watching us, Jinwoo said slowly. I want to know why. Dr. Minju nodded. Then help me set up the signal amplifier. If they want to study us, it's time we studied them back. The disk pulsed as if in agreement, casting strange shadows across the walls of the small lab. Jinwoo didn't plan to file a lawsuit. The idea came from Dr. Minju after 3 weeks of studying the disk. We need to force them into the open, she had explained. They've been hiding for too long. A public lawsuit is something they won't expect. The lawsuit was simple. Jinwoo Park versus Hana, no last name, demanding a refund of 300,000 won for fraudulent representation on a date. What made it unusual was the added claim. Defendant concealed non-human origins. Most lawyers refused to take the case. They thought he was crazy or pulling a publicity stunt. Finally, a young attorney named Taeyong agreed to help, more from curiosity than belief. This will get thrown out immediately, Taeyong warned. But it will make some noise first. He was right about the noise. Someone at the courthouse leaked the filing to the media. By morning, it was everywhere. Man sues alien date for refund. Most treated it as a joke. Talk shows invited Jinwoo to appear. He declined them all. We're not trying to be famous, he told Dr. Minju. We're trying to smoke them out. On the day of the preliminary hearing, Jinwoo could barely reach the courthouse steps. Reporters shouted questions. Curious onlookers held signs, some supporting him, others mocking him. A group of college students wore alien masks and held signs reading, "No refunds in space." Inside, the small courtroom was packed. Judge Do-hyun, an older man with thick glasses and a reputation for no nonsense, looked unhappy with the circus atmosphere. Mr. Park, he began, this court has serious matters to address. Your claim appears to be. The courtroom doors opened. Everyone turned. Hana walked in. She looked exactly as she had at the restaurant, wearing the same perfect smile. Behind her walked a tall man in an expensive suit, his face strangely forgettable. Jinwoo found he couldn't focus on the man's features. Whispers filled the room. Nobody had expected the alien to actually show up. Your Honor, the tall man said, his voice oddly smooth. We represent the interests of Ms. Hana. We request a brief recess to speak with the plaintiff privately. Judge Do-hyun looked surprised. You are Kim Sunwoo, legal representative, the man said, offering no further details. Taeyong leaned close to Jinwoo. This is unexpected. They actually showed up. That was the plan, Jinwoo whispered back. Dr. Minju said they would have to respond to maintain their cover. Judge Do-hyun cleared his throat. Given the unusual nature of this case, I'll allow a 30-minute recess for the parties to discuss. Perhaps a reasonable settlement can be reached. They were led to a small conference room. Dr. Minju tried to join them, but the court officer stopped her. Only the parties and their attorneys, he said firmly. Once the door closed, Hana's perfect smile disappeared. She looked at Jinwoo with cold eyes. This is highly irregular, she said. Your behavior was not predicted by our models. Sorry to disappoint. Jinwoo replied, trying to sound braver than he felt. The man, Kim Sunwoo, placed a slim briefcase on the table. We propose settling this matter immediately. The amount you request is trivial. He opened the briefcase. Inside was not money, but a device similar to the disc Jinwoo had found, only larger. "What is that?" Taedong asked, looking nervous. "A more efficient way to resolve this situation," Sunwoo said. "It will adjust local memory patterns. The media will forget this case. The judge will dismiss it. You, Mr. Park, will receive compensation 10 times your request." Memory adjustment. Jinwoo shook his head. "You mean erasing people's memories, controlling them." "Temporary influence only," Hannah said. "No permanent harm." "We've studied your species for centuries without detection," Sunwoo added. "We prefer to maintain that arrangement." Jinwoo looked at the device, then at Taeyong, who appeared confused and frightened. "You can go," Jinwoo told his lawyer. "Wait outside." "Are you sure?" Taeyong asked. "Yes, this won't take long." After Taeyong left, Jinwoo leaned forward. "I have your disc. Dr. Minju has been studying it. She knows about the observers." Hana and Sunwoo exchanged looks. "You're not the first humans to discover us," Sunwoo said. "Others have been accommodated." "You mean silenced," Jinwoo replied. "Redirected," Hana corrected. "We offer resources, knowledge, advancement, in exchange for discretion." Jinwoo thought about it. They were offering him money, perhaps other benefits. All he had to do was drop the lawsuit and stay quiet. "What about others like you? How many observers are on Earth? What's your real purpose here?" "Those questions exceed the scope of this discussion," Sunwoo said. Jinwoo stood up. "Then I'll ask them in court, with cameras recording." "That would be unwise," Hana said. "Probably," Jinwoo agreed. "But I'm tired of being observed without consent. If you're going to study us, we deserve to know." "What do you want?" Sunwoo asked, his forgettable face showing the first hint of concern. "Transparency," Jinwoo said. "No more hiding. No more memory adjustments. It's time humans knew we're not alone." The door opened as the court officer announced their time was up. "Have you reached an agreement?" he asked. Jinwoo looked at the observers. "No. We'll continue in court." As they walked back to the courtroom, Hana moved closer to Jinwoo. "You don't understand what you're starting," she whispered. "Maybe not," he replied. "But it's already started." Jinwoo couldn't sleep after the court hearing. The judge had scheduled a full trial for the following week. Looking both annoyed and intrigued by the case, news vans remained parked outside his apartment building. His phone wouldn't stop ringing with calls from reporters and TV producers. Around midnight, someone knocked on his door. Jinwoo looked through the peephole and jumped back. Hana stood in the hallway, alone. "How did you get past the reporters?" he asked through the door. "They cannot perceive me when I don't wish to be perceived," she answered simply. Jinwoo hesitated, then opened the door. He had questions that needed answers. Hana walked in, looking around his apartment with open curiosity. "You live simply for someone with your level of intelligence," she said. "Thanks, I think." Jinwoo closed the door. "Why are you here?" "The situation has escalated beyond standard protocols." Hana sat down on his couch without being invited. "Our supervisors have authorized direct communication." "Your supervisors?" Jinwoo remained standing. "You mean your alien bosses?" "The distinction between alien and human is less clear than you imagine." Her voice changed as she spoke, becoming deeper and strangely resonant, as if multiple voices were speaking together. "We are all connected forms of life." "You don't sound like you did at dinner," Jinwoo noted, trying to stay calm. "This speech pattern is more natural for me. At dinner, I was using a human approximation program." She tilted her head. "It was inefficient." Jinwoo sat across from her. "Why the dating app? Why trick people?" "You misunderstand our purpose," Hana explained. "We seek compatible humans through what you call dating. It allows us to evaluate individuals without the interference of government agencies or scientific bias." "Evaluate for what?" "For first contact representatives. We need humans who can bridge our worlds." She leaned forward. Your lawsuit triggered contact protocols earlier than planned. It was unexpected. Your people have been watching us, Jinwoo asked. For centuries, we have bases beneath your oceans, in your deep forests, even in orbit around your planet. She spoke as if discussing the weather. We have watched humanity develop, waiting for the right moment for official contact. And now we offer Earth membership in our alliance. Hannah's eyes seemed to glow slightly in the dim light. Your reaction to deception, demanding fairness rather than reacting with fear, makes you an ideal representative. Jinwoo laughed bitterly. All because I wanted my dinner money back. Sometimes the smallest actions reveal the true character, Hannah replied. You didn't threaten me. You didn't try to capture me. You used your legal system, imperfect as it is, to seek justice. This suggests your species may be ready for greater inclusion. Jinwoo rubbed his temples. This is a lot to take in. We understand. That is why we have traditionally moved slowly. Hannah stood up and walked to his window, looking out at the city. But your public lawsuit leaves us with limited options. Either we must accelerate contact, or take measures to suppress knowledge of our presence. You mean like that memory device your lawyer had? Kim Sunwoo is not a lawyer. He is like me, an interface designed for human interaction. She turned to face Jinwoo. And yes, that would be one option. I won't let you erase people's memories, Jinwoo said firmly. We don't need your permission, Hannah replied. But there was no threat in her voice, just a statement of fact. However, we prefer cooperation. Jinwoo thought for a moment. What exactly are you proposing? A controlled revelation. You withdraw your lawsuit, but not because it's false. Instead, you announce that representatives of a non-terrestrial civilization have made contact, offering peaceful exchange. People will think I'm crazy. At first, perhaps, but we will provide evidence that cannot be dismissed. Hannah held out her hand, and a small light appeared above her palm, expanding into a three-dimensional image of Earth, surrounded by dozens of pulsing dots. These are our observation posts. We will reveal one publicly as confirmation. Jinwoo stared at the floating image. Why me? There must be scientists, diplomats, people better suited for this. Those individuals are bound by institutional thinking. They represent power structures, not humanity. Hannah closed her hand, and the image disappeared. You represent something pure, a simple desire for honesty and fairness. Those are values our alliance shares. I just wanted my money back, Jinwoo said again, shaking his head. Sometimes, the universe turns on such small things, Hannah replied. Will you help us? Jinwoo looked at the strange being sitting in his apartment. Was this actually happening, or had he lost his mind? The disk he found was real. Dr. Minju had confirmed it wasn't human technology. And now this. I need time to think, he finally said. And I want to talk to Dr. Minju before I decide anything. Understandable. Hannah stood. You have until tomorrow night. After that, we must take alternative measures. Is that a threat? It is reality, Hannah said simply. The existence of our alliance cannot be determined by one legal case on one small planet. After she left, Jinwoo sat alone in his apartment, staring at the door. Tomorrow he would need to make a decision that might change human history, all because of an expensive dinner and a strange blind date. Jinwoo called Dr. Minju first thing in the morning after Hannah's visit. They met at her lab, where he told her everything. They want me to be some kind of ambassador, he explained. They say we can join their alliance. Dr. Minju looked both excited and cautious. This could be a trick to silence us. I don't think so, Jinwoo said. She could have used that memory device on me last night, if that was the plan. They discussed options for hours. By afternoon, they had reached a decision. Jinwoo called the number Hannah had left him. I'll help, he told her, but I have conditions. The agreement was signed on a Tuesday, 1 week later. It wasn't a typical contract. The paper seemed to shift and change when touched, and the ink glowed slightly. Representatives from what Hannah called the Alliance met with Jinwoo, Dr. Minju, and 3 trusted government officials in a secure location. Jinwoo withdrew his lawsuit with one condition. Humanity would be informed gradually about their cosmic neighbors. No memory adjustments, no hiding anymore, but a careful introduction to prevent panic. "This is unprecedented," said one of the Alliance representatives, a being who looked human except for eyes that reflected light like a cat's. "No species has negotiated terms of first contact before." "Then we're making history together," Jinwoo replied. The first public announcement came a month later. It was carefully planned. A discovery of unusual signals from space, followed by evidence of an observation post on the far side of the moon. Scientists were allowed to verify the findings independently. Governments were briefed before public statements were made. Jinwoo watched the news broadcast from a special facility that had been quickly established outside Seoul. Hannah sat beside him. "Your people value honesty," she explained, as reporters discussed the implications on television. "This approach respects that value. Some people are still afraid," Jinwoo noted, seeing footage of religious groups declaring the end times and protesters demanding the aliens leave Earth. "Fear is natural," Hannah said, "but it will fade as understanding grows." She was right. Over the following months, fear gave way to curiosity. The Alliance revealed technological innovations that helped address climate issues. Medical breakthroughs followed. Each gift was small enough not to overwhelm human development, but significant enough to show the benefits of cooperation. 6 months after the agreement, Jinwoo found himself heading the new Interstellar Relations Office, a position he never imagined holding. His engineering background proved useful in understanding the technologies being shared. Dr. Minju led the scientific division, finally receiving the recognition her work deserved. Hannah served as the official liaison to the Alliance. She had changed since their first meeting. She ate real food now. She particularly enjoyed spicy dishes. She laughed at jokes, sometimes told her own, and showed emotions that seemed genuinely felt, not programmed. "Are you becoming more human?" Jinwoo asked her one evening as they reviewed diplomatic protocols for an upcoming Alliance delegation. "No," she answered. "I'm becoming more myself. Before, I was restricted to observation parameters. Now I can engage authentically." Jinwoo nodded, understanding. They had both changed. He was no longer just an engineer with a normal life. He now carried knowledge of civilizations beyond Earth, technologies beyond human imagination, and responsibilities that sometimes kept him awake at night. "You never did reimburse me for dinner," Jinwoo joked, looking over at a particularly complex treaty document. "That salmon was overpriced." Hannah smiled. A real smile now, not the calculated one from their first meeting. "Consider it an investment in humanity's future." 300,000 won to change the course of human history, Jinwoo reflected. Most expensive blind date in history, and somehow still worth it. "Your sister deserves credit," Hannah reminded him. "She selected you from the dating application because your profile showed unusual honesty traits." Jinwoo hadn't seen his sister much since everything began. She still didn't know the full truth. She thought he had gotten a government job after his publicity stunt lawsuit. "I should tell her someday," he said, "about who you really are." "When the time is right," Hannah agreed. She touched a symbol on the tablet before them, bringing up a star map. "There is much more to show you first. Your world is just beginning to understand its place in something greater." Outside the window of their office, the lights of Seoul glowed against the night sky. Somewhere above, Alliance ships moved in orbit, visible now as bright points of light that people no longer mistook for stars. The universe had become both larger and smaller, more vast in its possibilities, yet closer in its connections. All because of a blind date, a drop disc, and a man who wanted his money back.